Hi, friends. I'm David Dirtlick, inventor of the Dirtlick 8-pound upright vacuum cleaner. Friends, this is the most remarkable vacuum cleaner in the world. As soon as you turn it on, it begins picking up dirt and hair and grime no matter where it is. And it easily fits into corners and under furniture. But its 30-foot cord gives you a larger reach than other uprights. It's hard to believe that a vacuum that only weighs 8 pounds could be so powerful. So friends, get the Dirtlick 8-pound upright. So light, yet so powerful.
Thank you. Yes, wow. I'll tell you, we got some happy people in the studio here, but I gotta be honest here. It has been a rough week for big business around here. If you've watched the headlines, first of all, over at Boeing, they're asking the people they just laid off to come back. Did you see that? Boeing, they downsized recently, streamlined the company. It's more efficiency, higher profits. Only problem is they got rid of the people who knew how to build the planes. They kept the people who knew how to take meetings, you know, and make charts and all that sort of. So they were calling up the retirees. Yeah, about the wings. Now, how do they go on the plane here? I mean, it's getting pretty bad. Take a look at the 767 that rolled off the assembly line. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. Trying to start it by, spinning that thing, it's just wrong. The flight tests aren't going real well on. Here's a new Boeing prototype. Look at this. Just like, boy. Man. I'm just saying they've seen better days. They've seen better days. They're offering $7,000 bonuses for the retirees to come back. One of them said no, but for $1,000, he'd tell them how to get free Cheetos out of the vending machine, which is a widely known skill at Boeing, or at least it was. Anyway, Microsoft also had quite a setback this week. The Justice Department said they can't bundle the Internet Explorer with Windows 95. So now they're going to include a Ford Explorer. That'll show. That'll show. Janet Reno was pretty happy about the ruling until she woke up and found a blood-drenched copy of Netscape Navigator on her pillow. That's computer humor. See what you're doing? We're wired here on the show. Anyway, the Justice Department released the full text of their decision. At least they tried to, but for some reason they couldn't get their email to work. Wouldn't hold your breath. Don't think the computers are going to be working real well over there from now on. Microsoft they've remained pretty quiet, but they did issue this short statement. Bill has been angered. His wrath will be terrible. Anyway, we've got a great show for you tonight, but before we begin, I want to remind everybody that we're entering the most exciting part of the football season, and I want to assure you that if you keep it tuned to our station, you will get complete coverage like this.
We're back in 15 seconds, guys.
Okay, Robbie. A lot of these players have had run-ins with the law lately. Do you think we should mention that?
Yeah, if we don't, it might seem kind of odd, like we're trying to cover it up.
Yeah, you're right. But let's don't draw a lot of attention to it. We can still be subtle about it.
Back in 5 seconds, guys.
All right. Hi, everybody. Ken Matthews and Al Lee back now, and we're ready for the kickoff, and here we go. Here comes Johnson, currently out of jail on his own recognizance, sending a long end-over-end kick to Taylor at the 5 when he is stopped cold at the 10, which is only fitting seeing as how he's looking at 5 to 10 for assault charges currently pending from that bathroom incident last week.
That's right, Ken, and a great tackle by Johnson on parole for waving a handgun in the face of Winnie the Pooh at Disneyland.
Okay, now Lamar, misdemeanor trespassing on his ex-girlfriend's property, drops back to pass, and he's got Metcalf, convicted of drug possession, found stuffed in his underwear at airport security, wide open on the 35-yard line, where he breaks a tackle by Frazier, accused of assaulting the team mascot at a sporting goods store grand opening, sidesteps Kuhn, drunk and disorderly conduct during a pregame prayer meeting, and then he gets a great block from Sheridan, DWI driving with a suspended license and then wrestling with the police and spitting on their hats. And now he's only got one man to beat, Romero, facing civil action for peeing off a hotel balcony onto a hot dog vendor's cart. And he scores.
Ken, that was a great pass protection from Simons. Lewd behavior for exposing himself at a Lilith Fair concert last summer.
The extra point try now. The snap by Heacock, facing a league hearing for choking his coach because he looked at him funny. And the kick by Eggers, reckless endangerment with a firecracker thrown in front of a busload of Japanese tourists, is good. And we are off to a quick start here at 7-0. And if this continues, it could be no contest, which is what team owner Charles Anthony is expected to plead next week to charges of gambling on league games with known criminals while smoking crack cocaine through a sawed-off shotgun at a house of prostitution.
Excuse me. Are you Ken Matthews?
Yes, I am, officer.
Well, I've got a warrant for your arrest for unwanted licking and biting.
Well, what action, ladies and gentlemen?
Let's go,
My carnal desires have apparently sidelined me just 2 minutes into the game. Look for a not guilty plea and a huge out-of-court settlement. Meanwhile, we will break for these messages, and then we'll return with my fellow announcer, Al Lee, future charges of insider trading, calling the game.
We'll be right back.
Everybody is stupider than me. Why won't you do things the way that I do? I am right and you are wrong. Me!
Hello and welcome to me. Well, before getting started today, I need to take care of a little problem. Phil, come out here, please. Come out right here. This is my assistant, Phil. And Phil, sit on down and tell everyone what your job is here on me.
Well, my job is to make your day as pleasant and delightful as possible.
Right you are. And what's the first thing you do each morning?
The muffin.
The apple cinnamon muffin,
Right,
Phil.
right.
And yet, the muffin you brought me today, well, doesn't smell like apple cinnamon. And let's see. Well, it doesn't taste like apple cinnamon either. Phil, would you like to taste it?
Sure you would.
There you go. It's blueberry, isn't it? Yeah, now, get up. Okay, well, I feel so much better. Okay, now it is time to bring out my very, very special guest who is making his first ever television appearance on me. Please give a warm welcome to Jesus. Oh my goodness, Jesus, it is just so good to have you on me.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, somebody backstage told me that you have a birthday coming up.
That's right. I'll be roughly 2,000 years old.
Isn't that remarkable? Do you use a moisturizer?
I try to take care of myself.
Well, it certainly shows. It certainly does. So, what brings you to town, Jesus?
Well, you know, the year 2000 is coming up, and I thought it would be a good time to spread my message of love and honesty and companionship.
Oh, how cute.
Also, I'd like to plug my book, which I will be signing at the South Center Costco.
Oh, great. What's it called? What's it called?
The Bible.
Oh. Very catchy. And how's it selling?
Not bad. Of course, I'm no John Grisham.
Who is, huh? Still, if it's a selling well, it must be a good book.
Well, it's the good book.
You know, Jesus, a little humility wouldn't hurt right now. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Why don't you?
Anyway, my book talks about my message of love and compassion and brotherhood.
Boring! Hey, you know something? Why don't you do one of your neat little tricks for us?
I beg your pardon.
You know, your tricks and your little miracles and stuff.
You know, I'd rather not, actually.
Oh, come on, just turn a little water into wine. I love a good Merlot.
I'm not really a performer. So.
Oh, dear, I'm starting to get irritated. Oh,
well, I'm sorry that you're getting irritated.
I want Merlot!
All right, my little child.
Ooh, yippee!
Here we go.
Oh, my goodness, audience,
Merlot.
look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. You know something? This is a Chianti, not a Merlot.
Actually, it is a Merlot.
Jesus, I've drunk a bit of wine in my day, and believe me, this is a Chianti.
Well, I've made a lot of wine in my day. And believe me, it's a Merlot. And a darn fine one, too.
Okay, fine. I guess if I want a Merlot, I'm just going to have to make it myself. So give me the glass, Jesus. Give me the
I don't think
glass!
so. Oh, great. You know, this robe is dry clean only.
Well, if you'd done it right in the first place, this wouldn't have happened.
Father?
What is it, my son?
God, it's God.
Do you want me to smite her?
Well, I don't know about that. She is annoying.
I could turn her into a pillar of salt.
That's true.
I've done that before, you know.
Okay, fine. Well, God's deciding whether to smite me or turn me into salt. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with musical guest Hanson.
Hanson? Dad.
Them I will smite.
Good evening. This is the Late Report. Well, a Portland man who sold bogus crack cocaine to a crack user may wind up in jail even though the substance he was peddling was actually just soap. Meanwhile, the man's customer said he first realized that he'd been duped when he noticed that the inside of his nose was becoming zestfully clean. Two University of Washington professors claim that student evaluations of instructors has led to teachers bribing students with light workloads and higher grades. Several instructors say they plan to refute those findings as soon as they and their students get back from a field trip to GameWorks. Well, U.S. Customs drug detection dog Woody, who has helped to seize nearly $4 million in drugs, is retiring after 7 years at SeaTac Airport. When asked what he was going to do in his retirement, Woody said he'd like to catch up on his licking. Michael Martin, the Seattle property manager and national real estate guru, has disappeared, leaving a note confessing that he embezzled more than $100,000 from clients and that he's a loser. You can learn more about the man in his new book, A Loser's Guide to Making $100,000. The Weather Bureau says that the white material that fell in North King County Monday night was not snow, but a substance called grapple, a granular mix of snow pellets. Accordingly, local carolers are changing their first song this year to Let It Grapple, Let It Grapple, Let It Grapple. Well, a recent survey ranked Vancouver, British Columbia as having the highest quality of life of any major city in the world and ranked Seattle 37th. The reason that the two similar cities ranked so differently is that Vancouver doesn't have as much traffic, crime, or grapple. The Seattle Reign have fired their head coach, Jackie Hulla, after the team lost 7 of their last 8 games. Hulla claims it wasn't the coaching that made the team lose, but the fact that even their best player shoots like a girl. The huge new Overlake Christian Center Church opened last Sunday in Redmond as its enthusiastic pastor, Bob Moorhead, shouted out to the 3,000 people in the congregation, "Redmond, here we are. We're going to take this city for Christ." Meanwhile, from his nearby home in Bothell, Satan had no comment. And now, this week's editorial on racism in the media, Vahim.
You know, back in the days, we didn't even know, man. The 20th century, boy, is a mother. That's my mama, hell. Carl Sagan, boy, Yeah. Beans don't burn in the kitchen. What is it that Chomsky said? Man, let me talk. Got a lot to say. Huggy Bear. But that was back in the day, you know. Me, Charlie Parker, Diz, all the cats blowing low ghost notes. In a hell of a lot of places. Yeah. Rerun, man. Yeah, don't get Christy Love. Yeah, we ain't gonna pay. DeMont Wilson. No. Me and Mrs. Jones broke up, you know what I'm saying? Don Cornelius. But that's not the way we do things in Philly. Smooth and rich in 67. Nickel bag of funk.
Vaheem, I want to go back to what you were saying earlier. If I could just play the devil's advocate for a minute.
The devil, man. Beelzebub. Tom Jones. John Keister.
Well, Vaheem, what I was trying to say is I think you're coming, just dangerously close to playing the race card, and that's really all I want to say.
Oh, man. A boy is born on Hot Time, Mississippi. Mr. Charlie Bobo. The man said, won't you listen what the man said? Dig it. Captain Von Trapp.
All right. Now, you see, I knew if I tried to explain myself, there you go, you'd start calling me the blue-eyed devil.
Yeah.
Vaheem, what are you doing? Vaheem, don't do that. Don't play that race card, Vaheem.
Yeah. Tell me about Alcatraz, Cool Hand Luke like Sing Sing, only you're singing flat. Free your mind. Pick a card.
Okay, look, Vaheem, I'm going to play along with this for a minute, but please don't. Now, Vaheem, damn it, you did it. You played the race card. All right, I'll see your race card, and I'll raise you Johnny Cochran.
Michael Bolton.
Clarence Thomas.
Jesse Helms.
Michael Jackson.
Vanilla Ice.
All right, well, that's pretty good. I'll see your Vanilla Ice, and I'll raise you
O.J. Simpson.
Now, you see, Vaheem, when you play the race card, no one wins.
Tiger Woods.
With an editorial on racism in the media, that was Vaheem. Finally, Meadowdale High School in Edmonds may drop Chief as their mascot, leaving 40 Native American mascots at state schools, including 10 Indians, 6 Warriors, 4 Braves, 4 Redskins, 7 Swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 lawsuits pending, 4 tribes a-screaming, 3 athletes shrugging, 2 jokes remaining, and 1 mascot leaving. This has been The Late Report. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
We're here in Seattle to take the Gain Freshness Challenge. We're about to drop in on actual Gain user Kelly Martin to see if Gain really does make her laundry Gain Fresh.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Now, you use Gain, correct?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you have any laundry that we can test for Gain Freshness?
Yes, I just finished a load this morning.
Okay, now smell these with me. How do they smell?
Smells great.
Well, you heard it here first. Nothing beats the great smell of Gain. Although, actually, I don't know that towels are the best test. Do you have something that's used more on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I've got a T-shirt in the closet.
Actually, you know what would be a lot better than that would be some underwear.
Underwear?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I think I have some of my husband's boxers.
Actually, you know what? It would be a lot better if they were yours.
Why?
Well, women buy Gain, so if they were women's underwear, just seriously, I think it would be a lot better if they were yours.
I don't think that I've done a load recently that had my underwear in it.
Well, you're wearing some now.
Excuse me?
Why don't you show us the ones that you have on right now?
Oh, that's a really good idea,
Yeah, that'd be good.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
No, really, it would help us out a lot.
Yeah.
No way.
What if we turn the camera off?
You know, how are we going to tell if Clorox is the best
Clorox?
fabric?
Wait a minute. You said you were from Gain.
Well, yeah, Gain. That's what I meant.
Wait a minute. I know who you are now. You're the guy that works down at Starbucks. You guys are perverts. Get out of here. I'm calling the cops.
It's my other job. I do the Gain.
Please tell us what color they are.
Let's try that.